Welcome, Rapids fans, to another edition of The Rundown, and of course, another Leagues Cup edition. And I'm going to be joined by Drew Moor for this edition of The Rundown, where we're going to talk about Leagues Cup, our thoughts in general of the tournament so far. From there, we'll discuss and recap our match at Nashville in Geodis Park, where the Rapids lost 2-1 against Nashville. And from there, we're going to look ahead to our Leagues Cup match here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park on Monday, July 31st against Toluca FC. That and much more on The Rundown. All right, Rapids fans, I am joined by none other than, of course, the Rapids legend, Drew Moor. Drew, as always, great to have you here with me. Drew, let's talk about Leagues Cup, just in general, just to start. What have your impressions been of the tournament so far? For me, at least, it's been pretty fun. It's been a fun watch, seeing all these different matches that you wouldn't typically see outside of like a CCL that you would in what is the MLS preseason, if you will, phase, and Liga MX being in the middle of their season. So I would like to hear your thoughts on what Leagues Cup has been so far.
I think it's been awesome. It's a nice little change of pace from the regular season, which we love the regular season, but it's like throwing in the World Cup midsummer, right? Something different to watch. MLS teams compete against each other, but also Liga MX is great, and everybody loves MLS versus Liga MX, right? And so to have these games on pretty much every night, the competition's been good. I've been pretty impressed with some of the results from the MLS sides, and I'm interested in what the public perception will be. I'm interested in what it is right now, because it's not set up perfect for Liga MX, that's for sure, with all games being in MLS stadiums, and maybe we'll deal with that when the tournament is over. But right now, I'm just enjoying the competition, the play. There's been some decent clips from Lionel Messi as well, and the Rapids have a tough opponent on Monday night. So I've really enjoyed it so far. It's been awesome.
That's Leagues Cup in general. Let's talk about us with the Rapids. So we are coming off a 2-1 loss at Geodis Park in Nashville. Despite the loss, though, Drew, a lot of positives to take out of that. Of course, the one thing that always does hurt us a little bit is just finishing the abundance of chances that we create for ourselves. But overall, your thoughts from that match in Nashville?
Yeah, a lot of positives to take. We talked about it after the game. Created a lot of chances, especially in the first half, right? Darren Yappy hits the post. A lot of crosses go across the face of goal that, to be fair, the Nashville center backs dealt with pretty well. A couple just missed Calvin Harris. Brian Galvan was pulling the strings, playing Cole Bassett in behind, playing Keegan Rosenberry in behind. He was on his game. You got to score goals. You got to convert your opportunities. And we talked about it before the game too. We said early, take the crowd out of it by creating chances, getting an early goal if you can, but you have to be ruthless when you do get into the other team's box. And we weren't. And what happens is you let the team hang around, you let Nashville hang around. Hani Mukhtar comes on and completely changes the game, scores 2 goals scores a goal, sets up a goal within 5 minutes of coming on. And now you have an uphill battle to fight, right? And the Rapids did. They fought until the end. They got a goal and had a couple opportunities to send it into a shootout, into penalty kicks. Cole Bassett hits the post off a free kick. And so there's a lot of positives to take, and they're going to have to ride that momentum and point on those positives from the Nashville game as they prepare for a very good Liga MX side in Toluca.
Moving ahead, looking to Toluca. We have them here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park on Monday, July 31st for our second Leagues Cup match. It's a vital match. This is going to determine whether we can move on, Drew, to the next round. With what you've seen, with what you understand from Mexican teams in general, and from what you've seen from Toluca specifically, what should we be looking out for with regards to Toluca on Monday?
Yeah, I think Toluca's a good team, and it'll be any Liga MX side that comes in here will be a tough test. I do think Toluca is a very organized team, 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, however you want to call it. They'll play, right? They're not just going to look to counter you. They can play in transition. They have a couple of marquee players, and Marcel Ruiz and Maximiliano Araujo are kind of the players that we've identified as Araujo being a left-sided winger that can attack extremely well, takes players on, gets into the box. And Ruiz kind of a number 10, sometimes a number 9 as well, that can score goals and that can create, and everybody around them is going to work. They're a hardworking team. We don't know a whole lot on them other than the video that we've gotten from really the first 3 games, maybe the playoffs last year in their Tigres series where it was an absolute shootout. But a hardworking team that can hurt you in possession, that can hurt you in transition, and that's going to defend well. Don't give them a penalty because their goalkeeper will take it.
their goalkeeper, who on his own as a goalkeeper, very good, very solid in his years in Mexico before going back to Brazil to join Sao Paulo and then coming back to Mexico. But I was looking kind of through some of the PKs he's taken. At the moment, with the 3 games they've played this season, he's their leading goal scorer with 2 PKs scored. But with one that he scored last season, he hit a Panenka.
The audacity.
The audacity. Seriously, yeah, he pulled a Brian Galvan. Let's say that. He pulled a Brian Galvan in hitting a Panenka off a penalty kick. So he's not afraid to, one, take a PK and take it with a lot of style as well.
And he's good with his feet, right?
Yes.
They use him in possession, and this is dangerous because it's a +1 with your goalkeeper, you know, and he can spray the ball as well. And it seems like a minute detail, but the Rapids have to be aware when he has the ball at his feet, he can pick out a good pass as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know that as well with William Yarbrough, who's obviously super involved with the possession style of play that we like to implement. So those are Drew's takes on Toluca ahead of our match against them here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. This is what the team had to say leading up to our match against Toluca.
Yeah, we're excited to play a team from Liga MX. It's a different challenge. We went to Mexico obviously in preseason, and when we played Querétaro, it was a different style of football that we're accustomed to, and we know it's going to be tough just because it's not something that we're used to.
All right, that's going to do it from us here for this edition of the Rundown for Leagues Cup ahead of our match against Toluca. Drew, I love sitting down here with you and just going through this stuff, man. So
it's fun.
And to get your insight again, like, you know, as I mentioned earlier to the fans, that you've played in these environments and, you know, against these teams, and you have firsthand experience of what it's like to play against these teams. So getting your insight is super helpful so that everyone at home can understand what it's going to take to play against a strong Toluca side that, as we mentioned, has dangerous players and it loves to play with the ball, and they're going to be dangerous. They outrightly will be dangerous.
It's a tough test.
Don't forget to tune into this match against Toluca FC. That'll take place on Monday, July 31st, here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. You can catch the game here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park or on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. That'll do it from us here on The Rundown.